Hard Eyes is the new Valentine's Day horror movie that is out in theaters now for you to go watch, so let's talk about it. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this, but let's get into the review. Hard Eyes is about a masked killer that has glowing red heart eyes that comes back every year on Valentine's Day to slaughter couples enjoying their Valentine's Day. I think whoever wrote this just went through like a terrible breakup and was like, I can't do this in real life, but I'm gonna write a script about it. I think it was fun. I had a great time with this movie. I think that it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Now, this is kind of in that same realm of movie, kind of like Thanksgiving that we got back in 2023, where it follows a masked killer that represents Thanksgiving, and he goes around slaughtering people. It's the same thing for this one. It's a Valentine's Day horror movie that follows a masked killer that, resembles Valentine's Day, and they go around killing people. And honestly, it's a plot that I can get behind. I think it's fun. Now, I was going into it a little bit weary, thinking that it was going to be a little bit too similar to other movies that we've seen. And although it does kind of go down that path of being just, there's a masked killer going around killing people, I think it does flip the script in some moments that makes it be like, oh, wow, this is actually kind of original. That is not what I was expecting. But for the most part, it is just very similar to all the other masked villain horror movies that we've gotten in the past. I think the Hard Eyes killer is pretty cool looking. I think that the costume design is pretty awesome and interesting. I like how they didn't just make this movie because they were like, oh, this could do good numbers. But no, they actually took some time with the script. They actually made it interesting. They gave us interesting characters. They gave us an interesting plot. And, great job. It was a fun movie. Now, my biggest gripe is that the third act was kind of the most generic part of the movie. I think that the way that it was building up to that third act felt very lackluster, and like it wasn't the most important part of the movie, but it was the third act, and it was entertaining, but it was just the most generic part. I think everything that came before that felt more authentic than just sticking to the stereotypes that we see in these kind of movies. They have a funny Hobbs and Shaw joke where they're these two detectives that are named Hobbs and Shaw, and they're like, Hobbs and Shaw, like the movie? And they're like, huh? That was funny. But also it stars Olivia Holt from Kickin' It, as well as Mason Gooding, who is in the newer Scream movies, and they're great. I think they have good chemistry on screen. I think they were a fun duo, and it kept me guessing throughout the entire thing. And not to get into the spoiler territory, because, when it comes to watching these kind of horror movies, you can suspect that it's always going to be someone that you can expect it to be. But this movie sort of overts your expectations as to who the killer is actually going to be. And it makes it underwhelming, but also, in a way, kind of refreshing. Basically what I'm saying is that they didn't go down the route of picking a character to make them a goody two-shoes kind of character, and then at the end turns out that they're the villain. Kind of a spoiler, but I didn't tell you who the killer is. Anyways, I think this movie is killer. I think it's fun. I think people are going to really enjoy this one in theaters, and it really does use the Valentine's Day holiday really well in its story. It doesn't just make a movie centered around Valentine's Day and then not incorporate it well into the story, like some other holiday movies that we've gotten in the past. I think it's well thought out. I think it has a good story. I think it has good characters. I think it's fun. I think the kills are brutal and entertaining. This was a fun movie. On an entertainment level, I give this a 4 out of 5 stars because I actually did have a really good time with this movie. But on a critic level, I think I'm going to be giving it a 3.5 out of 5 stars, which is still a really good rating. I think this movie is really fun. I think that it's, for the most part, really well done, except for the third act. I just didn't particularly like it as much as I wanted to. But for a movie that I didn't think I was going to like that much, I left the theater pleasantly surprised. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this, but that brings you to the end of this video. I appreciate every single one of you, and remember, your movie moment is right around the corner. See you in the next video.